Hey everyone! We did it. This is the last final math lesson of the year. Congrats. And once again, I miss you all. So today what we're going to do is we're going to solve another linear quadratic system, but today we're going to be doing it algebraically, which means we're going to be using algebra. All right, so just make sure you have the packet out or just you can write it down and we're going to go through it step by step. So just let's remember when we are solving a system of linear quadratic systems, you have three possibilities. The first possibility would be to have two points of intersection, which would mean two solutions, 1 point, which is one solution, and 0 points of intersection, which is zero solutions. Okay, just a little review. So what we're going to be doing today is we are going to use our calculator just for checking purposes, but we will be solving this algebraically. Okay, so what we want to do first is we want to get the answers up because that's half the battle is knowing where to go to. So the first thing I'm going to ask you guys to do is plug this in your calculator and go to y1 and y2, which these are all both ready. So I have to pull up my calculator. And we're going to find the points of intersection. So let's review the steps. We have x squared minus x minus 6. And then our second equation is 2x minus 2. Okay, graph it. Make sure you look at it. Now, sometimes these systems might have irrational points of intersection, so you might have to use the second calc. But this is always good just to have the answer written down. So you do second calc. Go to intersect, make sure we get our intersection point, go over, press enter 3 times. So our first point of intersection is going to be -1, -4. Oops, that's a weird comma. -1, -4. And then our second point of intersection is going to be, go again, second calc, and we're going to go to intersect, which is 5. I'm going to go on to the red one. I want to use the line. The line takes a little bit less time. Okay, press enter 3 times, and it's 4, 6. So what you're going to do is you're going to first get those answers down, so at least you know you have the answer, and then I'm going to show you how to do it algebraically. So like I said, it's important to get your answer too. So pause the video, make sure you get this down on the paper somewhere. So here are the steps for solving a system of linear quadratic functions algebraically. So the first thing is we're going to use a substitution method. So because this particular quadratic equals y and this line equals y, when you have two entities that are equal to the same thing, you could set them equal to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this y on the left-hand side with this expression, because again, I'm going to replace it right in there. We can't solve equations when we have two different variables. We need to make them into one variable. So we're just going to make them all x's, because if we had y equals y, it wouldn't help us solve for anything. So you're going to replace the y with 2x minus 2. So I'm going to replace it with 2x minus 2 equals, and I'm going to replace this with keep it to x squared minus x minus 6, okay? And now if you notice, we have a quadratic equation right there. So how do we solve a quadratic equation? We set equal to 0, factor it, use a quadratic formula, or complete the square. This is factorable, so we're going to factor it, okay? So I'm going to bring everything over to the x squared side. It's easier to solve equations when you're on the positive x squared side. So that cancels out. And then you're going to put plus 2 on both sides, lining up your like terms. That cancels out. And we have it equal to 0. So now we have x squared, -1, x minus 2x is -3x, and then -6 plus 2 is -4. Okay, so now we have it set equal to 0. Now the next step, step 2, which is right here, it says factor your trinomial. I'm going to factor it underneath it and then do the work up above, okay? So it's a trinomial where we're going to find our factors of -4 that add to -3. So that would be +1 and -4. So I'm going to split this up to x squared. I'm going to just put this on the side. Plus 1x minus 4x minus 4. Okay, and now we're going to group it. Divide out our x in the first term. Divide out -4. And I'm left with x times x plus 1 and -4 times x plus 1. So I'm going to write the factors up here now. So for the factors, I have my x plus 1 and I have x minus 4. And again, we have to keep that set equal to 0 because it's a quadratic. Okay? Last thing is we're going to solve for x. So I have x plus 1 equals 0 and x minus 4 equals 0. Therefore, x equals -1 and x equals +4. So this is where you can't stop. We need to find a point of intersection, but we have obviously 2 points of intersection, one with an x value of -1 and one with an x value of 4, which we said before was right. When we did this in our calculator, we got, where's my calculator? We got the points of intersection as -1, -4, and 4, 6. So we know we need to get those other numbers. So your next step, step 3, is plug those values in for x into the equation and get your y value. So I'm just going to use I'm going to use the easiest equation. It says plug it into the linear one. You could plug into whichever one you want. I'm going to use a linear because it's easier to use. So I'm going to use 2x minus 2. I'm going to replace for the first one. We're going to replace -1 in for x. So you have 2 times -1 minus 2. Plug that in your calculator. I have 2 times -2. No, sorry. -1 minus 2. And that gives me -4. So that would be y equals -4, which we said it would be according to our answer there. And then we're now going to plug in 4 for x. So we have y equals 2x minus 2. Y equals 2 times 4 minus 2. And we should get 6. So I'm going to pull up my calculator. We have 2 times 4 minus 2. I get 6. And you're going to write it as y equals 6. Now it says write your answers as coordinate, but we already have our answer as coordinate before we even started because that was the whole plan, is to get those answers out so you don't have to worry about finding them later. Okay? It's just really important that you go that extra step. So pause the video and make sure you get all of this down, okay? And what we're going to do next is you're going to try one on your own. This is another one. You're going to have to try it. And then if you get it wrong, make sure you watch the next video where I guide you. If you got it right, just click right onto the Delta Math assignment that's attached to the Google Classroom and complete that. I'm only going to give you 2 questions to do because the last thing we have for this unit is a quiz. So you can get started right on that quiz when you're done. I'm going to attach it to you'll see that the Google form is attached. So you can go right to that quiz and you'll have 2 days to get both of these assignments done, okay? Message me if you have any questions and good luck.